Hello students, we are discussing Cbse class 9 science chapter 8, that is from physics, and the chapter name is motion. So we've seen 6 parts and we've completed nearly half of the chapter motion. So now we are getting into the next half of the chapter, and here in this part of the videos, this is the part 7 of the video. Okay, so in this part 7 we will be discussing about graphical representation. So what is graphical representation in general? So you all would have come across the word graphs from your lower classes. You might have seen different types of graphs from your lower classes: bar graphs, histograms, circle graphs, pie graphs, line graphs, and whatnot. So many things you would have come across in your lower classes. Now also we are going to see the graphical representation of motion. So why do we use graphical representation? So graphical representation is one which can make data understandable to the common man. Okay, even a normal person can understand through a graph than through a tabular data. Okay, if something is given in a table or if something is given in terms of a paragraph, it is very difficult for a layman to understand. Okay, but when something is given in the form of graph, it is very easy to understand. So it helps in easy and quick understanding of the data. Likewise, whatever is given in the form of graph can be memorized for a long time. It will stay in our brain for a longer time. Whatever is shown pictorically, generally we know it will stay in our mind for a longer time. Same is the case even for the graphical representation, because it is going to be a kind of a pictorial representation only, and you can usually compare two given data at a glance by seeing the different graphs. Okay, before getting into the actual graphical representation, we all need to know an important concept called the slope. So please listen carefully when you are learning this concept, because this concept is going to continue even in your higher classes. Whatever group you may take, even if you're going to take some other group or something, you will always have some graphs in your life. Even if you get into a commerce, if you say no, I'm not going to take science group also, then also you will come across these kind of graphs. Okay, you will come across a graph like this, you'll come across a graph like this. Okay, so you must find out the value of slope when you learn a graph. That is what we are going to see here. So this slope has a value. Okay, what is this slope all about? A slope is nothing but a slanting line. We all know what is a slope. You might have seen in the ramps. In the ramps, what you would have seen, the ramps are slopey in nature. Okay, and these slanting lines, or I can say slope is nothing but a slanting line. These slanting lines have a value. So what is the value of this slope? So the value of the actual mathematical formula or the explanation of the value of the slope is nothing but the change in the y coordinate divided by the change in the x coordinate. Change in the y coordinate divided by the change in the x coordinate. But for your easy understanding, I am just giving you a name for the change in y coordinate as rise, and for this I am going to give you the name run. Why rise and why run for this is because you can run across a horizontal area. You cannot run across a vertical area. Vertical area you can use it for rise. Okay, so rise means what? Something increasing. In vertically you can say. Okay, so this is your formula for the slope, that is your change in y coordinate or by x coordinate, or you can call it to be rise divided by run. Okay, so that is what we have here. Slope is the ratio of the vertical change between 2 points, the rise, to the horizontal change between 2 points, that is the run. Here in this graph we can see that we are just like taking 2 points. It is not mandatory that you will have to take the entire line. If you take the entire line, you have both in the negative axis also. So where it will be difficult. For a slanting line, you just need to take any two random points or any 2 points which you are comfortable to calculate. Okay, so for those 2 points, what you will have to do is you will have to bring it down towards the x-axis, also towards the y-axis. Then you will have to find out. So this will be towards the y-axis. So this will give you your rise and this will give you your run. Okay, so or you can say change in the y coordinate by the x coordinate, or in other words you can also say vertical change by horizontal change. By using these formulae, you can find out the value of the slope of any given straight line. Okay, hope you have understood this. This is how you will calculate the value of the slope. Now see this graph, look at this graph very carefully. Okay, so in this graph you can see this yellow line. Okay, yellow line represents the graph. Okay, so I have just taken this as a very small example for you to understand. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to tell you, I told you right, when you take any graph, you can take any 2 points. It is not mandatory that you have to take the entire line. Okay, you can take any 2 points. So in this I'm going to show you that even if you take any 2 points, you can do. Okay, how is that possible? That is what we are going to see here. Okay, see here, the first thing, we are doing it for B and C. So where is B? So here is B and here is C. So when you are doing it between B and C, see this is the position you are taking. So what you are going to do is, you are going to drop it from C to the x-axis, from C to the y-axis. Likewise from B, you are going to drop it down to the x-axis and y-axis. So then you are able to see that you are getting this to be your rise. So what is this? This will be your rise and this will be your run. So from this you will be getting your rise by run. So what is rise by run here? CF by FB. So that is what is written here. So how do you calculate that? So change in the y coordinate. So y coordinate, what you will have? You will have 3 and 2. So you will have 3 minus 2. That is what I have written here. Next you see you have 40 minus 20. How did you get 40? 40 is here, 20 is here. So this one represents 40 and this one represents 20. So you've got it to be 40 minus 20. So 3 minus 2 is what? 1 and 40 minus 20 is 20. So getting the answer to be 0.05. Here I have not taken any units here. So I am just writing it as 0.05. So that is between B and C. What between A and C? If you are going to take A and C, it means that you are going to take from this point till this point. You can see this violet line which is shown here. So for this, from C already you dropped down, from A again you take it. So what you will have? You will have the rise to be CE and your run to be AE, that you can see here, rise by run. So what is this? Here you have 3, here you have 1. So 3 minus 1 is written here. Likewise here, this is going to be near towards 0. So here it is 40. So 40 minus 0. Again I am getting 2 by 40. So again I am going to get 0.05. It's the same value. Now let me do here for AB also. Okay, for you I am going to do here for AB also. For AB means what you will get? You will get the rise by run to be BD by AD. So what is your BD? BD is what? 2 minus 1 divided by your AD is what? 20 minus 0. So it is again what you will get? You will get it to be 2 by 20. Okay. See here your 2 minus 1 is what? So 1 by 20. So you will get again 0.05. So now are you able to understand that any 2 points are going to get the same thing? Yes. So this is regarding your slope, your calculation of slope. So this value of slope, I have another formula here. Okay. So here for this diagram, you can see this example here. Okay. So for this you have the calculation here. So what is the rise for this? For this the rise is what? between 5 and 2. So your rise is what? 5 minus 2. Your run is what? Between this and this value. So 3 minus 1. So that is what we are seeing here. So what is rise by run? 3 by 2, which is going to be 1.5. Okay. So this is how you will calculate the value of slope. So here you are going to see the same slope but in the negative direction. So in the negative direction means you are going to consider the rise to be a negative value. Okay, you can see here the rise you are going to consider it to be a negative value. Otherwise it is the same. So you are going to take between B and C. See here you are going to take this line and this line. So BF by CF. So BF will be in the minus, because it is going down, it is not rising upwards. Okay, the rise is in the negative. The run is still going to be the same only. So you are going to get what? Minus 0.01 here. Likewise with A and D also. A and D. So here you are considering the entire line. For entire line means what? 4 minus 0. Here it is what? 40 minus 0. So it's minus 4 by 40. Even then you are getting the value to be 0.1. So you can even try with other values. You can try with CD, you can try with AB, you can try with AC. So you can also try with BD. Okay. So I want you to try all this and check if you are going to get the same slope. So you have to get the same slope for any two given values in the given graph. So this is called the negative slope. So negative slope for this picture I have given here. So 5 minus 3 is minus 2 here, because you have minus for the rise. Okay. And for run it is what? 7 minus 4. So it is going to be minus 2 by 3. So you will get minus 0.06, minus 0.67. So this is regarding your negative slope. So positive slope we saw, negative slope we saw. Okay, so you can also have a graph where you will have zero slope. So you can see the zero slope. Zero slope means what? Zero slope, you will have the run. If I am going to take from this to this, what? The run will be 10 minus 0. So it will be 10. If I am going to take from this to this, the run will be 20. So you will have the run value anyhow, but what about the rise? There is no rise here. So the rise is going to be 0. So 0 divided by any value is going to be 0. That is, the slope is 0. So this is for your no slope. If there is no slope, then you say that the slope is 0, because this is not a slanting line, it is a straight line. So there is no slope. So if the graph is going to be a line parallel to the x-axis, then the slope of the graph is going to be 0. So hope you have understood this. So in this we have learnt about the value of slope and the three different types of slope. So what are the three different types of slope we saw? One is the positive slope, another one is the negative slope, and the last one is the zero slope. Okay, that is no slope. Okay, so here you can say for positive, for slope example, you are going to take it to be rise by run. Okay, and only the negative you can say it is going to be minus rise by run, and for zero slope you can say the rise is going to be 0. So you can simply say that rise is going to be positive for positive slope, negative for negative slope, and it is going to be 0 for zero slope. Hope you understood this. This is a very important concept for you. So please understand this concept carefully, so that you will be able to use it in your numericals and even for understanding the other concepts. Okay, so see you again in the next video with the next part of the concepts. Thank you, children.